Okay.
Go. You got all day for this.
No.
You come out with your hands first.
Oh, okay.
Zip that thing.
Okay.
Go. Sheriff Department.
Hands are first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I am.
You what?
I'm running across the state at the minute for kids' hospitals.
Okay, well this isn't a camping spot, bro.
Ah.
Who are you?
Jamie McDonald. Why? Why did you want to do this?
You know, I spent the first 9 years of my life most of the time in hospital.
Okay, ready. It's like you're sat back and the world is moving really quickly around you. You know, there's so much going on, but your world just stands still. And you just hear the bleep, bleep.
Jamie McDonald.
My mum and dad never wanted to leave me in hospital, but they had to work. I've got a brother as well that needed to be looked after. So there was just no choice. One experience that I remember was lying in the bed, and I was actually at home at the time, and I tried to move my legs and I couldn't. And my mum and dad come running upstairs because I was screaming. I said, I can't move my legs, and my dad was crying and my mum was crying, and I said, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Every maternal instinct within me was telling me just to stay. But I have other children that also needed me. I have other responsibilities that I have to take care of. I had no choice.
The challenge with the illness I had is that no one really knew what was going on. So it left a lot of uncertainty, and I really felt my mum's energy from that.
No, put that away.
Mum, Anne McDonald, she was a cleaner. She'd done all sorts of jobs, but they'd done a very good job at, you know, being mum and dad at where they could. So I was left with busy nurses, the odd doctor. They would check in maybe every 4 hours and, you know, stick a needle in my arm and get a blood test. But it felt very functional. Felt like, hey, I've got a job to do. I've got to make sure you're good from a physical sense. They're all busy. No one's connecting with you on an emotional level. No one. I do remember this one nurse who would always come up, and she would always make an effort to put her hand on my hand and my arm, and I remember the skin on skin. That's what I needed, right? That was a need. I didn't need my blood test done. I didn't need that, or what I needed is this, that human connection. This feeling of abandonment is so strong, and it's happening everywhere. Hundreds and thousands of babies and kids are being left, but it's no one's fault. It's not the parents' fault, it's not the nurses, it's not the doctor's fault, but there is this gap. I think, you know, from being abandoned right into an incubator at birth, you know, or just at least the feeling of it, and then trying to deal with that as you're growing and developing, you know, and then I think it comes out, right? It comes out, like it starts to just bubble up to the surface, and then you get epilepsy, seizures. It's all trying to be processed in weird and wacky ways.
But when I was about 9 years old, it was thanks to the hospital that I now actually have the ability to run across a country.
I was tennis teaching at the time, and I remember hitting balls, and on the outside I looked really enthusiastic, but on the inside it just wasn't quite doing what it should, fulfilling. I've gone the wrong way! Seeing my parents change careers into foster care and looking after kids. At the time, I was living with them. I was actually sleeping in the back of on the floor behind the sofa while the kids had my bed. And I saved up £20,000 to buy a house. Everyone around me was just buying a house. My friends, family, and I had 20 grand, and I got right to the point of signing the papers to buy this house.
Congratulations!
Why am I doing this?
You know, when you get that gut feeling, you don't even know where it's coming from. And I said, I'm really sorry, I need to pull out. And the house people were really annoyed at me. And then I started to retrace my steps. I remember going back to Gloucester Children's Hospital with just a feeling that I had. And I walked into the hospital and I saw kids lying in the bed where I once was. It was 30 years on, right? And it barely changed at all. And I remember leaving there and I just thought there's got to be more to all this. So instead of buying the house, I bought a bicycle for 50 quid out of the newspaper.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It was one of the worst bikes ever, it was terrible. And then I said to the hospital, I'm going to now fly to Bangkok in Thailand and attempt to cycle 14,000 miles back to Gloucester to try and give back.
Nothing's going to stop me. It looks like it could be my longest descent yet.
I'm very good at just not overthinking certain parts of an adventure.
Can't find my passport. Come on, you try it!
I need a seed that just stays in my brain that says, you know, you can do this. Then every morning you just get up and you just go for it. I cycled Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Iran, Iraq, Turkey, through Europe, and it was wild.
This is like having a giant hairdryer on full heat, full blast, just coming at me.
I was in the saddle for a whole year. I mean, my bum became like buns of steel.
I've just been given a loaf of bread to see me through 2 days. Jesus Christ, it's a loaf of bread, but I've never appreciated it so much in my life.
But when I got home, suddenly there was hundreds of cyclists everywhere, and then we ended up doing this cycle, and I'd done a lap of honour in Gloucester King's Own Rugby. You just don't get that chance, right? They just don't do that. And they ended up building a new school playroom with the donations, and I remember walking out of the hospital and there was 2 kids holding up a sign that said, "Keep going, Jamie." And yeah, so I got home. I was living with my parents at the time, and I was sat on my mum and dad's toilet. I think it was like 2 weeks later, my visa for Canada came in. I was just gonna go on holiday. And I just thought, I've got money left over from the house that I didn't buy. Maybe I should just keep doing this. So I just jumped off the toilet. I was like, Mum, Dad, I'm gonna run across Canada. And then my dad, his vein was pulsating on the side of his head, and he said, "Son, that's exactly what you should be doing."
As well as his Forrest Gump outfit. Does he look like Forrest Gump?
Does he look like Forrest Gump? I thought it said, does he look like foreign scum? Yes.
My dad, his name is Donald McDonald.
I haven't seen Jamie for nearly 18 months.
He wears a pair of shorts even in the midwinter, so no top. He's an eccentric for sure. My dad always says, we're a rare breed.
So this was the greatest challenge of my life, where I put my hand in the Atlantic Ocean, and the mission was to run 200 marathons or 5,000 miles to put my hand in the Pacific.
I have never in my life been in anything like this!
He's not just an adventurer.
I do feel like a superhero.
Yeah, I remember getting up to the Rocky Mountains, and it was right towards the end of the trip, and everyone started to send me messages saying, don't cross the Rocky Mountains in the winter. You know, they said snow can, you know, pile up double your size. You're really putting your life in danger. And I remember looking down, and my foot had chronic tendonitis. I was in so much pain, and I started to look for flights to go home, and then I received one message that just changed everything. And here's what it said. Hey Jamie, as you head into what might be the hardest and most dangerous part of your journey, I thought it might inspire you to be reminded what you are running for. You might recall Samuel, a little guy in an orange sweatshirt that you met in the city of Thunder Bay at the Terry Fox Monument. Well, Sammy's cancer has returned, and he is out of treatment options. For now, we're enjoying every day and is living a full, joyful life as best he can. It is devastating for us, obviously, but it is also motivating to make sure that you know that what you are doing is going to change the outcome for kids like him in the future. As a normal mum, I have to say first, be careful, Jamie. But as a mum of a child facing the end of his beautiful life, I say, keep going, Jamie.
He just runs, non-stop.
Still going.
The journey raised over $500,000 for kids and hospitals in Canada, but also in Britain too.
You know, the journey evolved, right? It's like, okay, well, if you can do that, then surely you can do like bigger things, right?
Good luck with that. That sounds incredible.
It all started 11 months ago at the westernmost point of the US. Running solo for most of the time and having to deal with many challenges along the way.
Oh!
Good luck to you, have fun. Don't get killed on the road.
Oh, I didn't realise I was like next to someone's house. So
this would have everything you need in it, would it?
Yeah, my tent, my sleeping bag.
Great.
America, I just couldn't have done it without you. Every single person is in my mind right now. I could have never have made it.
running across America wasn't the finishing line. It was just a training run for what comes next.
It's just ridiculous. It's time for my mum's roast dinner.
How does he do it? 7 days on the treadmill and now reaching the end of his record attempt of 517 miles.
Very inspirational for my sister and me. 3, 2, 1.
It's human spirit, that's what gets us through everything.
And at that point, we managed to raise in total over £1 million to support sick kids. I think when you come out of into the world, right, and for the first thing you need is to be held and touched, and you need the skin, you need food, you need warmth. You need all those things to make you feel secure, right? First impressions, that's what counts. And if that gets missed, which it is everywhere, in every hospital, then we are starting to then create humans that are insecure, anxious. No one is asking the question, why? That search of what's this all about, and I feel so grateful that I found adventure and a purpose that can keep me going forward no matter what.
The power is in their hands.
Can you hold it for me?
Yeah, I'll hold it while you climb down.
And I have 3 beautiful kids, an amazing partner, and that's what matters, right? But I think I only really truly realised that once my parents split up. That created a crack, and that's when I had that realisation, hey, you need to go and work out where this is all coming from. And so I went up to a friend of mine and said, look, I'm really struggling with this. And he said, hey, just call this number. So I called this number, and this guy answered.
And I went into this garden, slippers on, and I sat with him, and his name was John Six.
And he said, I'm a psychotherapist. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Hey, can we just talk about my mum and dad splitting up? And a few minutes in, he knew that I was sick as a kid, and he said, do you want to talk about being sick as a kid? Do you feel abandoned? The following day, I was making a cup of coffee, and I felt this massive urge kind of bubble up inside me, and this huge visualization just hit me like a freight train, and I curled up in the fetal position, and I started to cry my heart out. And the whole time I was visualizing myself as a baby, right, being left on my own. And then it was flashing, and I kept getting older and older from birth all the way in an incubator with red colors, and then there's just feeling of like, oh, why am I being left? And then it flashing through, and I got older and older until there was like memories where I could remember it like it's yesterday, the bleeping sound of the bedside table and the equipment going off, and I remember it, and the whole time I'm looking at myself, looking down, and I'm saying, hey, you're okay. And then I went back to see the therapist, and I said, what just happened? I'd like to welcome you to childhood trauma. So long hospital stays for these children can be really challenging. They're missing out on school, home life, social interactions with their friends. It's a real challenge for them. Ward Buddies is filling a gap for the parents, doctors and nurses for taking care of the emotions of kids being left in hospital.
This could look like playing with them when their parents aren't present and giving some emotional support if needed. And yeah, the whole point of this is kind of promoting a sense of community for the child whilst they're here.
You got this! Yay!
So we have launched in Birmingham Children's Hospital. We've got a doctor, we've got a psychologist, we've got a project manager, we've got hundreds of volunteers. We are making a huge difference to children's lives right now, but this is so scalable. We want to be in every single children's hospital across the UK and other parts of the world. We can help hundreds of thousands of children. Let's face it, it's a scary time in hospital. So Ward Buddies is having a lifelong impact on children's mental health. It means when they leave the hospital, they're leaving happy and secure, and that can go all the way throughout their adulthood.
That's good.
Right, is that a wrap? Oh, good. Better dream up some more challenges.